Hey, welcome to another Tidbits and Tips. Today we're going to be looking at the Moog Sub 37. More specifically, we're going to be looking at the modulation wheel and using that to control the amount of vibrato you can add to a sound, and then also the amount of filter cutoff that you can apply to a sound. The vibrato control is basically just controlling the amount of the low frequency oscillator modulating the pitch of the oscillator or oscillators, and then modulating the amount of filter amount for the other thing we're covering. How much of the filter is applied to the oscillators. Basically, wow, wow, and it sounds exactly like that. I'm drinking a, what is it here? It's a Brugse Zot. It's a double, kind of a brownish, double fermented beer, I think, from Bruges or Brugge in Belgium. It is an awesome town. If you have a chance to go there, go. If you want to learn something about it, watch the movie In Bruges with Colin Farrell and that red-haired guy who was in Braveheart, Brendan Gleeson, I think. Actually, Irish guy playing a Scottish guy in Braveheart. Anyway. Great movie, great town, great beer, great synthesizer, Moog Sub 37, and cheers. Hey, okay, we're going to do a couple examples for you here. One, we're going to show you how to do just a basic vibrato setup controlled by the modulation wheel. So we're starting with an initialized preset, and the initialized preset normally has the modulation wheel 100% set to control modulation 1. Not modulation 2, but just modulation 1. And by the way, we'll only be working with oscillator 1 and modulation bus 1, whatever you want to call it. That's really all you need to do vibrato. Of course, you can add other oscillators, and you can modify that with modulation matrix bus 2 if you want to, but the first thing you want to do, you want to hit the modulation controllers button and verify that modulation wheel, mod wheel, is set to 100%. What that does is that allows the modulation wheel to 100% control how much anything in modulation bus 1 affects any of the parameters that they are supposed to affect. So we will set the modulation source, mod 1 source, to triangle, turn off the controllers button, and make sure that the oscillator button under pitch amount is set to both oscillators. Naturally, with vibrato, you want both oscillators to sound. Assuming you have both oscillators on, right now I only have one oscillator on. Then you can adjust the pitch amount and the LFO rate. The LFO rate, low frequency oscillator rate, is good around a little more, somewhere between the 12, little just past the 12 setting. And then add pitch amount, maybe about 1 o'clock. That's pretty good. Hold down a key, and now you can control it with the pitch wheel. And depending on how much you have pitch amount, it can be quite extreme. But for good vibrato, let's make it kind of subtle. And easily enough, while you're already set up like this, you can dial back the pitch amount and dial up the filter amount, and that will naturally affect the filter. Go back to vibrato. Actually, I got interested in doing vibrato on keyboard because I'm such a David Gilmour fan, and he does that vibrato thing so well. So now let's go to looking at how to control the filter cutoff with the modulation wheel. I have to admit this was not as obvious as I thought it would be. I had to do a little digging to understand how to do this. Let's reset pitch amount. So again, first step is hit the controllers button. Make sure that the mod wheel amount is set to 100%, which it is. Then, this is where it gets a little trickier. Scroll down to the mod 1 edit, enter that. It's kind of a sub menu. To program source, enter that and change it to constant on. Program source needs to be constant on. Turn off the controllers button. Now, the filter amount knob is going to let you determine how much the modulation wheel is going to affect the filter cutoff. So let's crank it up there. It's at 3 o'clock position. That's interesting because that's not what I expected. What the hell? Ah! I forgot a critical step. Change the mod 1 source to filter EGM/program. And there you have it. Fairly simple, and those are just kind of two nice, easy things you can do with the modulation wheel. Programming for modulation bus 1. Now the cool thing is, of course, you can add other stuff on top of this while I'm still busy doing this. You can still add modulation bus 2 if you wanted to, so. So that's it. Just a couple quick examples. Moog sub 37, very flexible in the modulation department. Not exactly obvious in a few ways, but still capable. And for that, hey, you're not going to lose too many points. And of course, it sounds great. So on kind of a stormy afternoon here in Germany, I'm polishing off another Maybach. I think I explained that one already, and hopefully you enjoyed this, and cheers.